Alright, I'm back. Or I should be back.
Hey! Time has come for you!
Keep the rat guessing.
I'll just wait for things to resettle after what happened. For those watching this stream after the fact, the reason this stream starts like this is because my stream just ended abruptly, which is why the previous part ended the way it does, and why this part starts the way it does. Alright. Yeah, listen, the stream actually completely stopped. I'm glad it didn't happen while I was actually in the middle of a cutscene or something. If you can hear me, Biko, you might just have to refresh whatever you're watching the stream on. I never end my streams without actually saying stuff to end it. So if the stream ever stops and you don't hear me speaking anymore, I haven't just decided to end the stream without saying anything. Alright, so the title of this stream is Part 6 still, but I'm going to have to call it Part 6B now because of what happened. Which really pisses me off when this kind of stuff happens. Zomb, I don't know if you're in chat again yet, but just let me know if you are, and then I'll be able to respond to your comment before the game crashed. I think I remember what I was talking about as well. Oh, nice, Zomb. Excellent. Yeah, so, just to sum up what I was saying before the stream ended before, basically, some alliances should have been optional to help with the overall pacing. They should have focused more on Eivor and Sigurd and Basim, both the Isu side of things, but also how the events affect them, outside of being, you know, related to the Isu, and things with the Order of the Ancients members. But yeah, one of the story arcs I feel could have been optional was the whole beer stand thing. The guy who wants to rekindle his long-lost love, and his wife wants to leave and go back to France. That story arc could have been optional, I feel. Zom, we have mixed thoughts on that scene. On one hand, you realise that Ubi would need to censor it to keep a certain rating, but on the other, they seem to censor it too much. Yeah. Well, there's always that consideration as well with games. Because, I mean, seeing it being done, like we see Eivor do it, but we don't actually see Rodri's body as it's being done. You know, we just see Eivor doing the motions and using what he's using, you know, all that kind of stuff. But maybe it was one of those things where they've already got the decapitations and all that kind of stuff, which happen in combat. So they probably decided that they had to draw a line somewhere. Or maybe they intended to originally show that in full, but maybe when they when it was up for review for rating, it was denied the rating that they're trying to go for as well. I assume it's like with movies. Like if the studio wants a movie to be a certain rating, then when the ratings board gives it a rating that's higher than that, then they have to make certain, you know, changes and stuff. Sometimes, though, it's even just like a split second. It might only be like 1 second extra of focus was actually on something. And if it's held for a second longer, it's an R rating versus if you take that second off from the shot, it becomes a, you know, PG-13 rating, that kind of stuff. Ronan, yours was fine except for an ad, was it? I got you, Ronan. Yeah. But no, the stream fully ended. There was no warning, like nothing was going wrong on my end or anything like that. Because the app on the console is awful, so bad that Amazon has never been into the app to have a look at it. They just ignore console players. Yeah, that kind of stuff is annoying when they do that, you know. Listen, that story arc should not have existed, that side quest content. Yeah, exactly. You know, it doesn't further the main thrust of the story. It's more like a filler kind of story arc. Just something to say that they have a certain amount of story arcs for the sake of saying that they have a certain amount of story arcs, you know. Hey there, Code. Well, parents had the 70th mark days and you're currently trying to eat cake off before it gets bad. Also, pie cookies, you think you'll be gaining 3 pounds in a couple of days. While sweating your literal rear end off. Well, it sounds like you're having a great time, and that's good to eat it, you know, before it goes bad. That's for sure. But that's cool that they had their 70th. Happy birthday to your parents. That's definitely a massive milestone. I have Zom, yeah, I do that as an annual playthrough with Arkham Asylum and City. And as far as which one would be my favorite, it's a tie between Arkham City and Arkham Knight. Okay, so just to recap what we're actually doing, because this stream is supposed to have been happening in the previous part, but the game crashed. I mean, not the game, the internet stopped, or the stream stopped. But we're doing the City of War story. We're gonna fight the Leech.
Go, my eyes.
Lucas, what happened? The stream just ended abruptly. The stream was like, I've had enough, and just ended.
Survey the area soon.
Not this time, Biko, no. Yeah, the actual game was fine, didn't crash or anything like that. Which, if the game crashes, that can also cause the stream to stop.
This is where the leech dissects her prey.
The good sister will see that you feel better.
God go with you for the gift of your eyes. I thank you, Regna. One blue, one green. Sign of the one reborn. So fascinating. So beautiful. Bless you. You have advanced the cause of our kind. God.
Who is that character she's talking about? Oh, we can't see them. But she's essentially talking about someone who is Aita reborn in this time period. Because of the eye color differences.
Go with you, Sister Frida Smith. And with you, child. Da, da, da. A young girl. Her eyes have been removed. I have...
One more, that's all. I'm nearly finished.
That's enough.
Oh, it's you.
For all the dead we collect, dear sister, you and I are equals.
Quite a charnel house. I'd lost count of how many. I suppose I've been greedy in my research, but not for lack of care. The Ancient Ones, the Arbiters, they built us out of simple pieces. So easy to break, so difficult to mend. There must be an improvement. We should be stronger, faster, smarter. I could have fixed us. I could have made us better.
We are blood and bone and spirit, Frida Swith. Perfect as we are.
You've such beautiful eyes. Finish it. Would you?
A young girl. Her eyes have been removed. I have a feeling this is the missing Regna.
So Regnia was a sage.
With you. What? Your worm food.
No! That's new leather!
Because the amount of money and focus console pumping to PlayStation, Xbox, Amazon should take note and make a decent Twitch app. Yeah, I guess they probably just find more value in streamers who stream from PC than stream from console. And so they're like, don't want to spend the money it takes to maintain the streaming software on the consoles. Although it would seem that Xbox has done more advancements for the streaming than PlayStation has done, especially when it comes to when your game crashes. On PlayStation, if your game crashes, tough luck. Yeah, your stream has to end. On Xbox, if your game crashes, the Xbox is like, that's all good. Keep the stream going, and you can then just load your game back up. So the reason you bring it up is due to there being another example of a time when something had to be heavily censored in order to keep an M rating. In the case of Arkham Knight, it's the end of the side quest pertaining to what is arguably Grant Morrison's most disturbing character, Pig. Yeah, I remember that that Arkham story, well, side quest with him. But yeah, I didn't realize that that was actually something that was heavily censored. Like, I can understand why, but I mean, I didn't realize that it was. AC, this book contains proof of God, ornamented with jewels beyond worth, and really heckin' big. I'll just stuff it in my bum for safeties. Well, I don't know about that, AC. I think a storage cabinet would probably be better. Zom, that's new leather. Guess Eivor wasn't that put out by simply being on fire. Oh no. No, that's an everyday occurrence for Eivor. I've noticed that there's a glitch with the camera options. I chose it so the camera offset would make Eivor in the center of the screen, but it seems to have forgotten about that. Must just be a glitch. It's funny, there's an option to change how close or how far the camera is away from Eivor, but the option to put it further away, this is the furthest. It lets you do it. So yeah, there's definitely something going on with the camera, because see, it's having trouble correcting itself. Might need to go back to the title screen. It's funny, like the bottom of the Valhalla main title here, with all the the fire and that. In Mirage, they do something similar. So, in Shadows, I wonder what they would do instead. They'll probably have cherry blossoms being blown about the bottom or something, maybe. Zom, it was ridiculously censored in comparison to what it is Pig actually does to them. On a related note, you actually wouldn't suggest looking up the process to make a Dollatron. It's well disturbing, might be quite a huge understatement. It definitely seemed like something that would be very disturbing. Like, even what they are, when you see them done, is definitely disturbing. There we go, that's better. But yeah, this option, for terms of like how close the camera is to Eivor, this is actually as far back as you can make the camera go. See, close camera is off. This is what it likes when close camera is on. It stays about there. And then when you stop, it goes that far in. Because it's based on when you're actually exploring. Like to have it off. Maybe it's not a good example because there's tight spaces. Anywho, that's not important. What's important is actually doing what the quest wants me to do. Luke is able to change Abel's cam. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, like when... I wish the camera stayed this far back from the character at all times. But when you actually stop, that's how close it goes.
It is done.
Ah, the leech is bled out. And did you catch her name?
A nun, name of Fredeswith.
What? The good sister? That can't be right. She was a saint. A healer and a... Gods! That brick fits this week's wall of shit.
There we go. That's one of my favorite quotes in this game. I even made a command for it. And it's a saying that if you're having a bad week and something else bad happens, you can say, well, that brick fits this week's wall of shit.
Brick of shit sounds about right. She was making dog meat out of Rechna when I found her.
Fuck!
You knew her?
She saved me. Mended a broken leg. Thought I'd lose it. But not with Frideswith. You wouldn't know it was ever broken. The sands will run backwards now. Without her, we'll return to balancing humors.
All of that for this. Secrets of the human form. How she saved lives.
And how she ended them. It might be the ravings of a madwoman.
Not every problem has a clean solution.
True. Very true. I've built my name selling the heart fix. I'll live with it.
This was her fix. All her ideas and discoveries written here. Ill-gotten gains.
I have a mind to burn that bloody tome. Is that the right call?
It has cures for everything. From boils to broken bones. It's worth keeping. We fight wars to save those we love, and pay in blood for what we win. This book, this is your good sister's battlefield, her kingdom.
You may be right. We can't return the dead to life, but their sacrifice can mean something. If you need me, I'll be at St. Paul's searching for something on the compass. Thanks for all this, Broca.
I should not
Lucas,
be seen in
this week's
area.
wall of shit. Absolutely. Zom, to put it simply, Grant Morrison writes perhaps the most disturbing of Batman's comic arcs, and Pig is his crowning creation of depravity. The most disturbing of the lot of them, so that suffice to say, I should say enough about it. Oh, absolutely, Zom. Yeah, from what you said before that comment, I could definitely see that what Pig does and the end result, that the actual procedure would be probably quite gruesome. Definitely wouldn't like to be involved in being, you know, like on the receiving end.
Some surly guests outside.
Eivor! We didn't see you enter.
It's about time you found each other. Stop tiptoeing around it.
Yes, I've found Stowe and he's found me. And here we are, together.
Have you stepped out today? There's a strange feeling brewing in the streets.
I've heard the shouts. The deaths of Avgos and Frideswith have angered many.
Let's hope the Comp has numbers among the offended.
I don't doubt it. But are we ready for him?
Let's go over all that's happened up till now.
Trigger was killed and dismembered by men who worked for him. Men he trusted. Avgos, the Arrow. Our brother in arms. He wanted London for the Order.
And the good sister. That's another knife to the back. London's saint. Sister Freeswith. She was the leech and the city was her meat market. Your bishop has already issued an apology on behalf of the church.
It's time we focused on the compass. Gather all we know and lay it out, plain as day.
Aye.
We let fly the feather dart, squeezed raven ink from a loathsome leech.
Now we wait, wolf-tensed, for the master of the River Rip to return and revenge his shaken warriors.
Well, well. This one's got the gift of Odin's meat.
What's on your mind, Stowe?
We know the Compass is a sailor. A captain from Francia.
And he won't like hearing he's got a leak in his hull, so to speak. With the death of the leech and the arrow, you want to hit back. But we can't know how or when.
Apart from this, the man's invisible. Coward, if you ask me.
Burn in your hell, you bloody reeves!
We're pinned in!
Is there another way out?
The tower! There's an open window they can't have reached!
I'll go up. You find a way out.
Eivor! Make for the steeple!
The yarn's still spun for us, my stone. We've many years yet. Come on!
They're blocking sides.
Try to fight!
I'll kill you! Cowards! Open this door and face us!
That's only a taste of the hellfire you'll see!
God's justice awaits, coward!
Flank the idiot! Press hard!
Life for that!
With me! Watch for my lead!
With me, brother! Let's go!
Fresh air!
That's the lot of them!
Let's get clear of this inferno!
I had a view of the city from the roof. There is a new flotilla in the harbor.
The compass.
Bastard. If we commandeered the springalds that Avgos built, we could rain a cloud of arrows on the invaders.
I'd sooner take the flank and go around this army to the boats. If we cut the head off this beast, the Order's men will be easy to rout.
I will go my own way. Less danger to you both.
Whatever happens, this ends tonight.
May God guide our swords and cover our backs.
Don't be reckless, little boys.
I'll see you when it's done, Erke. Count on it. Godspeed, my friends!
Zomb AC Valhalla brings out the Alliance map. Players, but what if I didn't want to see the Alliance map? Well, I guess technically you could never interact with it and just keep the characters at the point at which the game is before interacting with the map. Lucinda, okay, right, it's about time for you to get your day started. Hope you have a great rest of your stream. Thank you so very much, Lucinda. I definitely will. I hope that you have a great start to your day. Thanks for being here. Would like to highly recommend people check out Lucinda's channel if you haven't before. Lucinda is doing her annual playthrough of The Last of Us, a huge fan of The Last of Us games, as well as the Resident Evil series, the Bioshock series, Dishonored series, as well as Evil Within. Is going to be doing her first ever playthrough soon of God of War 2018. A great streamer with some really cool emotes as well. Highly recommend. And Lucinda, no worries at all for the shout out. Always more than happy to give you one. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that things go well, and I hope you have a good start to your stream. Hopefully you don't have to worry about rebuilding shaders again and all that kind of stuff. I hope you have a great start to the next part of your playthrough of The Last of Us.
I can't breathe! Burn it to the Forward! Forward! Kill them all! The Lord will see us prevail! Together, lads, we have this.
Look! We're so scared!
Avgos and Friedeswith were too confident. I don't suffer the same disease. I'll drown and burn every last man, woman, and child in this shithole city!
So this is the compass. Large enough to ford an ocean.
Well, look here. Will none of you lift a finger to aid your master? Burn and boil!
Back here! Work with me! Get behind if you can!
Burning to ash what you cannot possess. That's a child's way out.
To hell with London. Boudica was right to burn it to the ground. It's a brick-and-mortar shithouse. So bright and beautiful, set aflame. Will you rule over these cinders now? Yoke its people to your whims and needs?
You do have power here. Power you have earned.
I have finished my work in London. That's enough.
London is only a beginning. My order reaches further than your tiny boats can take you. Never forget, Trigger, my old friend. A man at sea may have gold and glory, but he is always a slave to the churning tides. We are that tide.
Zom, such a huge health bar and such a giant character, yet Rod Legion didn't seem to even need to fight him fully awake. Yeah, because I'm so overpowered in this playthrough, given my New Game Plus that I've done. When it comes to like boss fights, I just go the parry route, so I can get as much of the dialogue and stuff. Otherwise, the fights will be very short. It'll just be like, hit, 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 special move, done. I think it is Zomb. Yeah, I think that is the earlier spelling for London. Hey there, Stan. You are the Tide detergent. Yeet the motherfucker. Absolutely. Not as, what's the word I'm looking for? Not as demoralizing of a photo mode shot as I was doing in Odyssey. But I thought I would bring that back for this guy in this playthrough. How's it going, Stan? I see you have a clip for me? A clip for me? That's excellent. Dunedin. Thanks for clipping that that moment, AC. Thank you so very much. That definitely is a Rod thing. Just Rod doing Rod things. Exactly. That's how I like to treat enemies in games that piss me off. I like to demoralize their dead bodies after the fact. Well, not really demoralize. That's not the right word. Fluga! Fluga!
London stands!
There you are. The drinker we must thank for our good fortune.
How do I look? Half drowned and half burned?
Not half of either. And far better for the blood on your blade.
The compass is dead. London is yours to wreck or rebuild.
We will rebuild. We'll strengthen the walls, reunite families, and likely use less wood, more stone.
Ill-timed, Erke. I'd like a quiet moment to pray.
We'll take it together.
Until our next meeting, I trust you will heed my call if I should send for you.
You came to London in search of a friend, Eivor. You found two.
Aye, Broga. And you deserve this. A silver ring for your raven perch. It was Trigger's before he gifted it to me. I say you've earned the right to wear it now.
I am touched, Erke. I'll carry it with pride. Seems the wind calls me back to Randi. Best tell her the good news.
Hey there, Bearsuit. Let this be a lesson to any future AI that attacks Rod. I might also be able to trick it by being like, I'm not your enemy. I'm not human. I'm a cybernetic organism. Cyberdyne model number 101. And then AI would be like, okay, see ya. Dr. Darling, no, the winds don't call you. Yes, they do. The winds have a lot to say. The winds call Eivor back to Ranvi. AC casually pours a gallon of water on your motherboard. That would definitely do the trick. Hey there, Schiller. Ahoy to you as well. How's things going? We're just pretty much done the London story arc. The stream that I was doing actually ended. The stream just stopped. So this stream is a lot shorter than the previous one. But what I want to do is take care of some other zealots and stuff. Having a little headache, but that's okay. You're home now and can chill. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having a headache, Schiller. I really hope that it goes away soon. To even have it at all is definitely one thing, but I hope it doesn't last too long. Oh yeah, absolutely. More zealots. Need to find them, actually. I figured out that if you spare Leofrith, but you don't burn the letter, then the zealots still don't actually come after you. So it turns out you have to kill Leofrith, and then they won't, and then they'll come after you.
London is with us, and cleansed of the Order.
Good. Hytham will be pleased.
Zom, fun fact, not way too long ago, you finished your 100% PS5 playthrough of your favorite game in existence, Ghost of Tsushima, and you're currently approaching halfway through the main story missions for Watch Dogs 2. Well, that is really good, Zomb. That's excellent progress as well. Schiller, really? I thought you had to burn the letter. It even says in the task, burn it before the sun goes down or they come after you. Yeah, Schiller. Like all the zealots, they haven't come after me. I've had to go to them.
I should talk to Hytham about my next targets.
So we're going to get the ability to go to Jorvik and Vinland, but I'm not going to do that in this stream.
Have you...
The Order has been purged from London. For now, they hold no power there.
That is good news. And I would celebrate, but for the fact that Jorvik now suffers from the same infestation.
Jorvik is a city under Norse control. I should have less problem finding allies here.
That is a hopeful way of seeing it. Speak to Ranvi when you wish to travel there. Do you need something?
I have to go.
Then go in peace.
There we go. So, Jorvik we can do in tomorrow's stream. Schiller, Ubisoft, don't program it. Just put the text in there. Nobody will know. No one will know the difference. Yeah, that seems about right. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I just thought, if I spare Leofrith but let the letter stay there, that it would actually have them come after me, but doesn't, which is weird. Alright, so investigate the fort at Thieves' Warren atop the highest hill in all of Gloucestershire, just north of the town of Gloucester. I always struggle with these names. Investigate the fort at Thieves' Warren. I'll pause my own broadcast, that way I don't have to keep on cycling back. I can just look at my screen. Although the annoying thing is now, it has the details on the screen like my channel name and the name of the stream and what I'm playing and all this kind of stuff. It's like, look, I don't need that on the screen. It's covering the text that I wanted to keep paused on my broadcast screen. Anyway, Gloucester, There we go. Thieves' Warren. Cool. Hey there, Equal. Thanks all for keeping you company. Off to play your own games now. Oh, that's no trouble at all, Equal. Thank you so much for being here, and I really hope that you have some great times with your games as well. That's awesome. Hope you have a good one. Zombie looked it up and was actually quite surprised how few the main story missions are. You think it was 14 quests in all. So where you are, which is audibly annoying to listen to, as it's the part pertaining to Prime 8, is around the halfway point. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I could swear... No, I'm thinking of side quests. Because I think there's some side quests in that game that are kind of difficult to find. I think there was one that was near a location where I looked for a long time for it to pop, and it finally did. Oh, that's okay, Biko. That's no worries at all. Thank you for being here. This is your phone account. That's fair enough. It's definitely fair enough. Well, thank you for being here as both equal and as Biko. Bane, let's play a round. Whoops, anyway, I'll start again. Bane, let's play a round of rock, paper, scissors. I go first. I choose rock.
I choose paper and win. Now bring me Batman.
What a game that would be, Schiller. Could you imagine Bane and Arnie doing rock, paper, scissors? So I won't be doing any more of the story arcs for the rest of this stream. I'll just be focused on getting some of these Order of the Ancients members, as well as the Zealots, taken care of. Just so that it's not like a stream that goes for under an hour. But yeah, if the stream hadn't crashed before, then I could have had part 6 of the playthrough be one big entire stream.
I should be cautious around here.
Hey, what? Come here, bag! Shouldn't have come, dog! Time's up! We are going to play you. Got you. I have to do everything myself. Won't take long. Rend the idiot! You die! Just die! Come here! Into the ground! You'll wish you never. Away from me. Your luck's run out.
Zomb, I should be cautious around here. Ironic choice of words said before charging headfirst into battle. Exactly. Yeah. For last year's annual playthrough of this, I did a stealth challenge. So it's been good for this time to just not care about that stuff too much. Here we go, right here. No doubt, in Shadows, that will be dialogue as well. The watch will be vigilant.
If an evil man brings you biscuits, do you give them to your children?
I would not let good food go to waste.
I would let my children starve. A serpent's gift will always end in malice.
Sweet from evil remains sweet, even if it crumbles quickly in their hands.
So stealth would be quite a challenge in a game in which it's pretty much non-existent. Yeah, and the other thing is too, there was a part in the playthrough where I was infiltrating an area, I was hiding in some tall grass, and there was an enemy next to something, and I accidentally missed the shot, and it hit the thing next to the enemy, which alerted them. Let's say, for sake of argument, I was hiding here when I made the shot. And let's call that tree hitting. When the enemy was like, what the hell? And they went over to where I was, I moved and kept on going without being spotted and went to a completely different side. And then what happened when I went to shoot the guy when his back was actually to me? He turned around and was like, gotcha! So the enemies have GPS locator vision. That was definitely annoying when that kind of stuff would happen. Elfgarsten Farm. Zom, that sounds idiotically designed. It really, really does, you know. You would think that if I moved to a completely different angle from where the enemy was going to investigate, that they wouldn't detect. But sure enough, they did.
If they see me, this will get messy.
Meet your fate!
When it comes to Mirage, when I do my annual playthrough of that, I'm going to do a stealth challenge with it. But I haven't fully decided yet the exact rules I'm going to go with. But I'll think of something. Oh no, Zom, yeah. I'll be doing it from scratch. For a challenge like that, with the games that have New Game Plus, I'd rather do it from scratch. Oh nice, a zealot appeared on the map. Cool. So far with this game, I've only done 2 challenge runs. One was bow only, and the other one was the stealth one. But for the bow only one, if I was to do it again with this game, I'd add more restrictions on what I could actually use, because I didn't put any restrictions on bow abilities and stuff like that, and upgrading the bow and all that kind of stuff.
The first man I killed for my order, I cried and wept after trying to hold back the tears. But I told myself, I am merely acting upon a foretold destiny, navigating the whim of greater gods. My actions are simply pebbles.
Pebbles that wash away in the surf, as harmless as dust.
Pebbles were once bedrock, as were you.
That's funny. The zealot that was on the map has disappeared. Well, if they're on the thing... they don't come up as a thing, damn it. I was going to say, if the game put it on the map, then maybe it's discovered, but hasn't. Oh well. Ruined tower east of Corsdale Castle, near the southwestern border of Skirropshire. Some games can provide quite a challenge with New Game Plus, be it purposefully or not. Take Ghost of Tsushima, for instance. You once played on Lethal Plus difficulty and you figured that it being a New Game Plus type that it would make things easier as you would have all the gear and skills you need. That wasn't the case. If anything, as someone told you, Lethal would have been easier than Lethal Plus, as Lethal Plus makes things more difficult, to the point of being taken down in a few hits by the most basic level of enemy goons, because of the fact that you played the base game before to unlock New Game Plus at all. I see, yeah. In terms of like being detected at all, like a stealth challenge on New Game Plus in that side of things would still be definitely could still be difficult, but because I will have unlocked all the tools, I'd rather sort of like change the challenge rules or have the challenge rules reflect elements that make it harder than it would be. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if I was going to do a stealth challenge, I wouldn't just simply make it don't be detected. I would also make it I'm not allowed to use certain stealth skills, for example. Like in Syndicate, for example. I did a playthrough once where Evie wasn't allowed to have any stealth skills unlocked in a stealth challenge for her. Whereas Jacob, he had to have the weakest weapon and always engage enemies in combat, and he wasn't allowed to get the combat skills. You know, so for Mirage, it won't just be simply don't be fully detected. I also want to have a look and see what rules I want to add for what tools can be used, if any, you know, things like that. Well, I guess I could still add them as New Game Plus, but at that point, I'd rather, like, it doesn't really matter, but I'd prefer to start it from a fresh save, because then it seems fairer, if you know what I mean. Like I'm taking the game in a challenge at its default setting, which is not New Game Plus. Hey there, Gizlek. Thank you so much for joining. How's it going, dude? Thank you, Shropshire, for the follow. Zombie also mentioned about unintentional ways for that to be the case. The challenge you came up with, but haven't done yet for Tsushima, would be a run in which you, to your best ability, would only wear the fundoshi, which only helps by silencing one's footsteps. Yeah, so that kind of thing, you know, it's good to be able to do that. Like, I did a throwing knife challenge with Syndicate once, but I was allowed to use outfits that increased throwing knife damage or, you know, increase its capacity. So I'd probably not choose that if I was to do it again in the future, kind of thing. Because like the AC Shadows marketing team is giving this Stargazer thing a shot. Oh yeah, Gizlek. Yeah, there's definitely a lot about that stuff going on. I'm kind of fed up with it all, to be honest, because I'm just sick of hearing about Shadows stuff. It's an everyday thing, almost.
Offa told everyone he was Christian. He was not. He was one of us. He only wanted the silver and the swords for his men of Mercia.
And you have kept his tradition going?
Without flinching. Without hesitating. Offa would be proud of me.
You must have seen 100 summers, old man.
It feels thus.
Another order of the men. Another order of the ancients. Member bites the dust. Doesn't roll off the tongue as easily as another Templar bites the dust. Yeah, I was going to actually ask that too, Zomb. Gizlek, it's when you prostrate yourself while touching the ground with your forehead. Oh, it's when you grovel to apologize deeply. I see now, yeah. Yeah, because I was going to ask the same question that Zom did. As for winning, Gizlek, I'm winning. We just did the London story arc, but my stream crashed before, which is why this stream is much shorter than the previous stream. I didn't intend this to be the case. So to pad out the rest of this stream, I've decided to work more on getting rid of Order of the Ancients members. Investigate the smithy. Oh, I hate this clue. Investigate the smithy next to the circular ruins on the grounds of St. Alban's Abbey, Oxenfordshire. Carfax Abbey. I know about that abbey. Pause. This is so annoying, like Twitch. When I pause my own broadcast screen, I don't need to know my own channel name, the title of my stream and all that. Just let me actually see the screen. I'm trying to make it that my broadcast screen pauses on this information so I can look at my broadcast screen instead of having to go, let's have a look at the map. Oh, I forget what it said. Let's go to the order thing. Let's jump in and have a look again at the clue. It's like, I don't want to do it like that. Alright, so St. Alban's Abbey, Oxenfordshire. Here we go. We may as well turn this into a raid on the monastery. Because they finally admitted on Twitter in both English and Japanese that they're not making a historically accurate game. Maybe most of the drama will stop now. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those tricky things, right? Like, I've seen arguments from both sides of the argument. And it's kind of like... I mean, for starters, technically we've already played before as a real historical figure in the series, and that was Leonidas at the start of Odyssey. But respective of all that, some have argued that because the series delves in sci-fi technology, beings that created humans and all that kind of stuff, that it means that you can do any sort of historically inaccurate thing that you want to do. But on the flip side, there are some things that are done historically accurate, but not everything is. You know, so the people who are arguing that the series has always been historically accurate aren't really accurate, because it hasn't been fully historically accurate. But it hasn't been until Odyssey, that is, and this game, Dawn of Ragnarok DLC in particular, well, the Asgard and Jotunheim sections too, hadn't been fantasy-based stuff. It was sci-fi, you know. And within the realm of coming up with something that is fictional, using places that exist, you know, like Egypt is a place that exists. There are people that live there. The environment looks the way it does, you know, so accurate in those ways is fine. You know, that's obviously the thing. But taking figures from history that have a bit of mystery about them, that's easier ground for them to cover when they come up with their own stuff. But where it gets tricky is if they're trying to have a character be kind of like accurate to something, then it causes or gives both sides a way to argue their point, you know, and in some ways they can both be right. You know what I mean? So it's very complex. So we're not exactly sure that one can call what Ubi did a legit apology, as it was only half-hearted and made meaningless by their continuous justifications about how it was not meant to be historically accurate. In spite of the apologies, were meant to be directed at the Japanese for the sake of how their game doesn't take their rich history into account. Yeah, I mean, and that's the tricky thing when you're not only doing something based on someone's geographical location, but you're also doing it with, you know, the culture of that place as well, you know, and that's where I think in general every adaptation or every interpretation of a culture needs to be careful that they're not basically doing things that is a slight against that culture. You know what I mean? Like, try to be true as much as possible as you can to that culture, you know, because it can bleed into other areas. But overall, in terms of like conversation topics related to Assassin's Creed, it's kind of like there's only so many times you can say the same thing about something before it becomes monotonous. And there's nothing really much that I can say that would be different to what I've already said without becoming like a broken record. So I definitely don't want to become that for people watching.
Better be hooded.
Let's get this raid going.
We raid! Deviant blindside the idiot! Won't survive, fool! God loves me! No paradise where you're going! Spread out! We have this!
My thanks.
Just the thing. Not getting away from me. Strike for Christ! Oh. Finish you! I'll take you! You're one too, brother. I'll stage your welcome.
Hey! Can't do this alone!
Much to plunder here!
Is like you did say trying, so almost a terrible attempt at trying. Essentially read as a long-winded sorry not sorry. Surely you love this horn. Oh yeah. It's cool that you can just blow it whenever you want. Like you don't have to do it when you're raiding a monastery. You can just like walk into a group of NPCs and just pull out the horn and blow on it and then they're like, what the hell? Ronan, you don't think they have tried to make a historically accurate game? They're using a historical setting, that's it. Even historical figures are wildly different and many liberties have intentionally been taken. Yeah, I mean that's true too. You know, coming up with a fictional thing and using some elements of real history to create the narrative, you know, and within that has some leeway for both directions as well.
Must be blocked from the other side.
Not too sure, Gizlek, to be honest. I mean, I do like the idea of using light sources as a way to, you know, increase your chances at stealth by putting them out and stuff like that.
Jammed. Need to get on the
I
other
think it's
side.
something that has been a long time coming with Assassin's Creed. Although, technically, it's already been in the series with the Chronicles games, because in the Chronicles games, you can actually put out lights to make sure you don't get spotted. But they're not main entries, so you could argue that because they're not main entries, then it doesn't count, but...
You don't. Now I'll snap your... No escape! I'll smash you!
Give me a hand with this! Give me a hand!
Some good plundering here!
Give me a hand over here!
Some treasure here!
Flay off! Of the waste swelter!
Hey! Come here!
There we go. I thought I would do a raid outside of the story raids on stream. We also got the Order of the Ancients clue I was looking forward to.
I was building a boat to carry my family to safety one day.
And what of the orphans you left behind? Do they get a boat?
A brigade of bastards. They are the only ones left ruling England. My people were of the Wiccan kingdom. Now we are ruled by Christ-beaten bastards.
Oh yeah, I remember this one now. Defeat the drinking champion, found in the Roman ruins within Ledicestia.
I'm feeling a bit drunk. You look thirsty as a flaming fish. Drink faster than me, you win the purse. Let's see the shimmer of your silver, friend. Betting the whole horde, huh? Ready your cup! Come raise a cup and lose some silver!
Ich will bruden som är smak från Kadbane.
El Nebenok for Dinom. No one is wara. Who's on your way to sway? So the Irn and Eft and Biri. Swat Nakon. Swat Kranos.
Nici milica era
I must have had a head start. I can outdrink an Aurochs. Step off! You'll see for yourself.
Indeed, Schiller. Skull. Skull. Bottoms up. I like how he said, betting the whole horde, hey? And that was 200 silver. And if I look at how much Eivor has 8,121 silver, so it's definitely nowhere near betting the horde, taking into consideration how much silver Eivor actually has hoarded in total. If we were to actually bet the whole horde, then we would have bet every single bit of silver that Eivor had, beyond the 200 that the guy said. Sheila, in the first version of this game, you could always bet 200 infinite times and make infinite money this way. Oh, could you, Sheila? Damn. Of course, they would have to take it out. Something that they took out of this game that was really cool. On your longship, you had basically infinite arrows. But they patched that out. I mean, yeah, in some circumstances it might make you so OP, but it's not like you can get the longship to go on land and get close to a main target and just shoot them with your arrows, you know, infinite ammo. Sheila, oh yeah, remember that? It wasn't even that broken because you were very limited with what you were able to hit. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. It's not like you could shoot from one side of the map to the other either, as well. Because like that makes AC Valhalla sound like World of Warcraft. How does it? Yeah, I don't really know too much about World of Warcraft. Even like just Warcraft in general. because I kind of like I liked real-time strategy games like Age of Empires, but it didn't go beyond that. It was more like just I never seriously played it in the sense of I'm going to finish this and I'm going to play everything, I'm going to get everything. It was just like one of those fun time things that was cool, you know. So I never actually went too far into that genre.
We should be residents! Flee on! Hey, what?
Christ! Renan Shulon! Hang on!
It's done that bloody glitch again with the camera offset options. The camera shouldn't be in that position behind Eivor. It should be so that Eivor is actually in center camera. Center frame, to be more precise, in terms of terminology. Guess like every single player RPG with a live service model is modeled after it. Heck, every live service model is for some reason. Maybe they're like, if it isn't broken, don't fix it kind of approach. Did Rod Legion just kill a goon by breaking a bench? How soft-headed could those goons be? One splat on the face from falling from mere inches and they're done for. I think it was probably helped by the attack that I did first to make them fall off. Hey, Nagosuke, welcome on in. Hope things are going good. We're just hunting some Order of the Ancient members at the moment.
We must all turn to the Order. It keeps people well placed. It is not truth, but true power.
You desecrate the very purpose of life.
No. No, no. I place power on power. The great becomes greater. You will see.
Ah, delete!
It sounded like he said, delete. Oh, really? That's awesome, Nagosuke. Thank you so much for watching some of my Origin streams on YouTube. That's excellent. Thank you so much for that. Muchly appreciated. That reminds me actually too, that for those who would like to see my past broadcasts that aren't on Twitch anymore, unfortunately, I've been streaming since 2016, so not all of those streams going back that far, but at the start of last year, I started exporting my streams to that YouTube channel, so you'll be able to find all the streams starting at the start of last year up until the most recent.
Back! Don't make me angry! I'll take you! Stick a blade in a dog's arse.
Delete. Guess we have a Cyberman among us. How did they know the secret of Eivor? Hey there, DV. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm doing really good. How's things going with you? Just clearing out some Order of the Ancient members.
Gods here are vigilant.
There it is. DV, you good, thanks. Nice, you've killed every member from the Order. You mostly be doing, like, many challenges, and you're trying to find armor, and you're trying to get the DLC to go to Ireland in Valhalla and complete the game. Oh, very nice. Yeah, the Siege of Paris DLC and the one that takes place in Ireland, the Wrath of the Druids. I haven't actually played those DLC for a while, a few years now. But I did like them though. I found them enjoyable. But that's great progress that you're making. I hope you're enjoying the game. Is it your first run, or are you doing like a replay? Hey there, Zayas. You might finally start this game after finishing your 2024 Red Dead 2 replay. You just got the native missions left mainly. Oh, very nice, dude. That's really cool. That's excellent. Such a great game, that. I did my annual at the start of the year. Not that I will be able to fit one in, but I would love to replay it again before the year ends, but it won't happen. I've got too many other games to get through for that. But
Make you bleed.
Want to hear some begging from me?
while I can see the Zealot there, I'll mark them off. Because the last time a Zealot appeared on the map, when I was ready to actually go and mark them, they were taken off the map.
You killed him! Die!
Have a look, Sunan.
Zayas, you've been thinking about playing this game a lot recently. Have you played it before, Zayas? Would it be like a replay or your first run through?
I must be careful now.
Wait a minute. The grave for you?
Oh, nice, first time. Oh, cool.
Here now! Die! You'll suffer for that! Decapitation for you!
Zayas, you haven't played Valhalla, Syndicate, or Rogue. Oh, cool. That's awesome that there's some games in the series that you haven't gone through yet. Especially, too, when there's so many entries as well. There's been some games like that for me with the AC series, like it wasn't until 2018 when it came bundled as a remaster with the AC3 remaster that I actually played Liberation for the first time. And I enjoyed that. So I made it part of my annual playthroughs. DV, you've got it when it first came out. That was 3 years ago. Then you stopped for 2 years, and you went back to it, and then you stopped again, and then you started playing it again this year. You recently completed, nearly 2 months ago, completing the Order, killing all the people from the Order. You're doing it now, just trying to find the mythical challenges, and all that. You've recently completed the challenge to get that Hero's Hammer. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that in the game that you can unlock. Different sort of locations to explore and all that kind of stuff. I think I might have gotten that gear in a previous run, before, but I can't really remember if it was that or I just saw someone do it. We'll take care of this zealot. I will be ending the stream soonish. I just wanted to make this stream longer than under an hour. Because the stream before this one was when I actually started that London story arc, but the stream crashed and I had to start another stream. So I'd already streamed for a couple of hours before this stream started.
This area is off limits.
Yeah, Sage. So funny. Best laid plans. I was hoping to keep each story arc in one stream per stream, because that way it feels like an episode of a TV series or something. But I'm going to have to call this part 6B and the other part 6A. DV, you've also done the Excalibur sword, the bow, and the Odin spear. All very cool. So you got all of those. Nice. It's cool that they put them in the game.
Enjoying the chaos.
Viljalaus, now you die.
My sword is lost. Floating down a creek. I shall follow till I dance again. Or drown.
Sage, do you think finding all the zealots on Nightmare, plus dueling them, getting Excalibur, and exploring Jotunheim were your top 3 moments? Oh, very cool. Yeah, the zealots, I'm kind of half and half on them. One half of me is like, it's cool that there's enemies that are similar to the Phalakatai, but the other half is like, it would have been kind of good if you didn't have to actually kill them. Like, fair enough, they're considered part of the Order of the Ancients, but it would have been good to have them as like a separate thing. But having said that, the side of me that actually likes the fact that there's some Phalakatai-like enemies wins out. DV, out of all of them, the hardest one was definitely getting Excalibur. You need to find these 11 stones and put them in the temple under the ground in the beef, and you would get it. It was so hard, it was such a big grind. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was trying to actually think which one it was that you had to do all that with, because it was very time consuming, and sometimes that isn't too bad, but other times it can be a bit of a drag where it just really ruins the experience sometimes. Sage, nice finish. Oh, thank you. Cheers. Finding family Endgame and Loki were awesome. Wish the Loki was harder, then 4 would be doing the Animus puzzles to get the secret ending. It was cool for you because you had to approach all of them differently or keep dying, but good point, saving them would be cool. But Vikings would never spare. Yeah, well that is true. They'd be like, Spare? What's this? What's this concept? We're not going to do that. Yeah, I remember the first time I fought Fenrir, I was definitely very underleveled for the fight. I think I managed to get it, but not after, like, you know, trying for an hour or so to actually get it. DB, you also completed Asgard in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and you've also completed Hell in Valhalla as well. You're just grinding the game out. Now trying to get the highest level, or power level. Right now you're level 331, the highest is 535, and trying to do all the challenges around the map in England and stuff, and trying to kill many legendary animals as well. That was a nightmare, but you did the amazing on it. Well, that's good that you got that done, you know, because sometimes things in games are just so annoying, but if you keep at it and actually get through it, it's very, very satisfying as well. I found it interesting with the power levels because at first glance it might make you think that if you don't have a power level that matches in areas that you're going to be severely underleveled, but that's where the choices in what skills you've applied points into comes in handy. Like, if you put a lot of skills into your melee, for example, then when it comes to fighting, even enemies that are really difficult, you'll still be able to do a decent amount of damage. Maybe not one-hit kills, but decent enough. But you might be lacking in your defensive skills, so it would be easy for an enemy to one-shot you.
They will attack on sight here.
But yeah, you could be power level 50, for example, and take on a power level 100. And depending on what skills you've unlocked, it might be easier or harder depending.
Let's hear your soul.
I want to hidden blade him, so we'll just run off for a bit. Sage, see, you're weird. Underleveled equals better. More problem solving for the player. Is it even nightmare difficulty if you're the level of Canon Odin 331? And that can definitely be a good way to approach games too sometimes, you know. Like, I don't mind doing the hardest mode on games, but I generally tend to do it once I've played through the game a few times, to at least get a bit of an idea of what to expect, you know. But sometimes there's things you can't really anticipate.
I wish my life had been a carnival of drinking ale and pissing.
It could have been, I'm sure.
No, we have not reached such a point. I used the order to live a life of ale drinking, but the price of my ale was murder. Sad, really.
There we go. That's him done. DV, yeah, you know where you're coming from because you killed massive boss fights in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It doesn't matter what level they are. It's just the skill you've got and how you can defeat them, and that you could be any level and kill any level, any high level boss, tank, click clay because she knows the skills and what you're doing. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I do, DV. Yeah, I'll get the link for you. Let's put Eivor somewhere. There we go. It's so funny you can hide in, like, shrubbery this. A shrubbery. There we go. Ah yes, we can't go off the firebrand yet, of course. Or the needle, or the bolt. That's related to Jorvik, which I'll be doing in my Wednesday stream. Best investigate the festival near Henge Farm in the hills south of Stonehenge in Hamptonshire. Sage, probably a broken record yapping, but hardest difficulty equals realistic immersion. No young Eivor should take on a level 300 Odin and beat him easily. Yeah. And that's something too, like, I haven't really done an immersion playthrough on a deep level with any of the AC games. Like, I've done no HUD with some of the games, and that can add an extra level of immersion. But I haven't really done an immersive playthrough where it's like, right, going to make sure that whatever the character is wearing is strictly what we see them wearing in, like, you know, promotional material or gear pieces that we see them wear in cutscenes. As in, like, some games where they introduce a certain weapon, for example. Like Arno, that pistol that he gets when you kill the King of the Rats. Doing an immersion playthrough where it's like, right, after getting that pistol, that's Arno's pistol, you know, for the rest of the playthrough. You know, immersion like that. I haven't really done anything like that with the series. As yet, though. There's always time in the future for me to do something like that, but it's definitely an interesting way to approach games as well. Oh, cool, Sage. Yeah, after I finish the stream, I'll go into Discord there and approve, because once someone joins, they just need to be approved. A shrubbery. Might want to look out for some knights. No reason. Eki, 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 patang, boing. Sage, nothing's better than a canon outfit change when something dramatic happens. Yeah. And, you know, that's just one example too. Like, I know that people have done a playthrough where it's like, yep. I mean, I've done a playthrough where I only kill the main targets, but not in addition to other aspects as well. Like with Red Dead Redemption 2 though, I did try to do some kind of immersion run where every single in-game day, Arthur had to change his clothes to something different. I didn't have to make sure that each day was gear completely different. Like for example, let's say I had Arthur wear something on a Monday. On a Tuesday, I would have to make him wear something different, but on Wednesday, I could make him wear again what he wore on the Monday, you know, just for example. But I also made it that I had to at least get one animal hunted every in-game day as well, and take it back to camp, you know. Bounty, because Arthur himself has a bounty of $5,000 on him, story-wise, Arthur can't just go in and pay off the bounty. You know what I mean? So I also made it that I couldn't pay off any bounties. So that was fun too, having bounty hunters just randomly turn up when you're trying to do stuff. There's other ways that you could take it, but I just took it to a certain level because I'd never done that before. But there's way more. Like if you look online for Red Dead Redemption 2 immersion playthroughs or runs, you'll probably find a lot of results that talk about the different kinds of ones that people have done, and to what extent. I like how that doesn't burn all the hay. Like, you think it would. Especially like explosions. But welcome to the video game logic of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, you!
Essentially, because this keeps spawning in, if you had enemies after you, you could just basically use that to your advantage. Alright. The clue's clearly not there. I have to read it again because there's some information that I most likely have not looked at. Was it the crozier? No. It was the oil, that's right. Ah, the festival near Henge Farm. There we go. Not at Henge Farm, but near it.
Show me what lies ahead.
Yeah, over that way. Sage, hardest difficulty prevents you from becoming walking plot armor. Therefore, you have to take on challenges in a realistic order, plus utilize small stuff in order to beat or do whatever it is you're not ready for. You don't know if that makes sense. Makes you miss nothing in games most of the time. So you need to utilize small stuff in order to beat or do whatever it is you're not ready for. Oh, do you kind of like mean use certain things that you wouldn't necessarily use usually, but because of the difficulty you need to use them because they'll give you a bit of either an advantage or a way to resolve the problem? Bearsuit, you always try different outfits for Arthur, but you just love his hat and leather jacket so much. I don't blame you, Bearsuit, you know. Like, I haven't really played the game with Arthur wearing a variety of the outfits, but like hats and stuff. Because I mainly have him wear his own hat, but also the pirate hat. Because I did a playthrough once where I wanted to make Arthur dress in the most ridiculous looking combination of clothes and colours. Same with same with John Marston. I made John Marston look like Mario as much as I could.
You think you can guzzle the grog? Prove it!
Because like seems historically accurate to you. Very accurate. I mean, we all know that in history, hay bales were impervious to fire. Too bad Ruvik in Evil Within didn't experience the hay that doesn't catch on fire. Zom hay rod couldn't resist. Sage, exactly. Better example, in easy or normal difficulties, you don't need to do much upgrading or reading into things the game adds, therefore you never utilize it if you don't need to. Yeah, because you also just get into a default approach where you just, like for example, if you're just so used to running into an area and being boom, 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 you might not have an incentive to start to use more advanced stuff. But when you play on a harder mode, you might have to start to use that advanced stuff more. Pig farm at Readingham Abbey. Fair suit, poor Ruvik, without a fire weakness, that game would be tough. It sure would be. Like, imagine if you couldn't use the fire on Laura as just like a default thing. Like she was impervious to it. Sage, exactly. Yeah, that's why I like challenge runs of games too, because it makes me have to use things I don't normally do in a game. Not because I don't know that they're in the game, it's just that my default setting, if you will, is just basically use what I get comfortable using in a game and then boom, that's it. Is like, does Nightmare difficulty do anything to the Abstergo kill team in Origins or the Abstergo assassin eradication team in Odyssey? Now that is a very good question, Gizlake. I don't think it does. Yeah, not too sure on that. I mean, I don't think... Yeah, well, I've done Origins on Nightmare mode, so I can't remember if it does anything on Nightmare mode to reflect that in the present day sections. But I didn't do the DLC Fate of Atlantis with Odyssey and on Nightmare though.
Won't be gentle if they spot me. slashed and disemboweled by sharp weapons. Saxon blade from the look of it.
Sage, you don't believe so? It would be funny if there was. Because like you're just asking because it's explicitly stated to be an anima simulation setting. That is true. You have a good point there. Sage, also, is there a channel for perfect stealth clips in the Discord? That'd be so cool. Seeing you do little things like slide into using the hidden blade. Damn, speaking of perfect stealth, you are en route for one right there. Yeah, it's funny, because that big enemy, the one with the shield, I was thinking that I'd be able to get to him, and that, based on proximity, pressing the button to assassinate would line up with the prompt appearing, but it didn't. So the game was like, oh, you wanted to attack instead of hidden blade kill. Okay, fair enough. Kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I have a, I think I've got a channel in the Discord for Assassin's Creed stuff specifically, like if you want to have things more specific to Assassin's Creed as a whole, but not so much smaller ones of Assassin's Creed based on different things, like, maybe, as you say, like stealth clips and stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely like an Assassin's Creed related channel on the Discord that anything Assassin's Creed related can be posted. Let's read this thing again.